You've written a great book here, Hidden Christmas, and I gotta say, is this your shortest one so far?
Well, it was the fastest one.
Man,
Because I've been in the ministry for 40 years. If you've been in the ministry for 40 years, you've done so many sermons and messages on Christmas.
Yeah.
And so basically, I sat down with the texts, Luke, Matthew, and I just wrote out meditations on them as if I was about to preach on them. And the whole thing it's close to I think it might be longer than Prodigal God. It might not be the shortest, but it took me the least amount of time.
145 pages.
Yeah.
I think this is the shortest one that I've investigated so far.
Okay.
But you're the author.
Yeah.
So I want to go with what you have to say.
But it's just it was simple, but it's also it came out pretty easily, and people still are interested in Christmas.
I got to tell you, it's a phenomenal book, and you don't miss any words right from the jump start. Chapter 1. Here's what you have to say of your words here. One of the first indications of the Christmas season is the appearance of lights. Lights on trees, candles in windows, radiance everywhere. This is appropriate because December 25th follows the darkest time of the year in the Mediterranean world and Europe.
Yeah,
Did not
the
know
Northern
that,
Hemisphere.
by the way. So I learned something by reading this here.
Yeah.
How is the world dark, you ask? In the Bible, the word darkness refers to both evil and ignorance.
Yeah.
Look at what was happening at the time of the birth of Jesus. Violence, injustice, abuse of power, homelessness, refugees fleeing, oppression, families ripped apart, and bottomless grief. Sounds exactly like today. How are we in this dark world supposed to be like?
Well, the idea in that message was that the message of Christmas is that the only hope we have in a dark world has to come from outside the human race. Yeah. That's the reason why the famous Christmas text is, the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Upon those living in the shadow of death, a light has dawned. And what I try to say there is, it doesn't say from those living in the darkness, a light has sprung. It's upon those, a light has dawned. So the message of Christmas is, there's a lot of evil in the world, and we don't really know how to solve it. Yeah. Psychology, sociology, public policy, that hasn't solved it. And therefore, the hope comes from outside. And that's the message of Christmas, is that we actually aren't able to handle our own problems, that human beings will never be able to do it by themselves. And you have to have faith, you have to have a relationship with God. It's about as simple a message as possible, but it is a Christmas message.
Yeah, you've written a lot of great stuff, there's no doubt about it. Why a Christmas book?
Well, I don't believe our culture is ever going to be able to really kill Christmas. I mean, it can't. It has to have Christmas. Because it has to. It's just crucial to the economy. So it's always going to have to live with Christmas. And it'll be almost impossible to completely extinguish its roots. The imagery, the songs, most of which are Christmas carols and things like that. I mean, we're trying to create new ones like Holly Jolly Christmas and I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, but they're still going to occasionally play Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And so that tells you about the roots. So in a way, even in a culture getting more secular, at least once a year, the whole culture is haunted. Flannery O'Connor said the South was a Christ-haunted part of the country. Even if people weren't Christians, it was haunted. Yeah. And that may not be as true as it used to be. You're from Atlanta, right? Not. That's nowhere near as Christ-haunted as it was. But in a sense, Christmas is, as far as I can see, indefinitely in the future, it's a time in which the entire culture will be haunted by Christ. And so it's a time you can talk about it. It does remind people of it. So it's just an opportunity to talk about Christianity.